Hey guys, Skis here, back with another Bitcoin video. So Bitcoin currently at 63K. We did wick to around 64.4 earlier today, getting, a little bit of a rejection, a little bit of a pullback so far. But we're actually finding support. I'm going to flip to the 1 hour. We're actually finding support around this area that I think is really good. I think that if we're able to hold this level, I do think we're going to push up. If we do drop down a little bit below it, I think there are a couple levels of support that maybe Bitcoin could find without going all the way back down to around 60K, which I really don't want to see Bitcoin going back down to 60K. But so far we're holding 63, which I think is really good. And I think that can allow Bitcoin to, maybe take a little bit more time down here and then try pushing up again. Because we did try pushing up once, right? So the next time we push again, we could still get rejected again. It might take us a couple times. I mean, look what happened last time, right? Like we tried pushing up multiple times and we kept on coming back down to this area that we're in right now, and then we pushed up. So, maybe this week throughout the days we just keep wicking, and then towards the end maybe we get a push up. I do think Bitcoin's gonna get a green week, and I think that, of course, setting a new higher high is really important, which would be at around 66.5. We want to take out 66.5. But I think what's even more important than 66 is up here at around 70K, between 68 and 70. So you can see the overhead resistance that we have. That is kind of more of a macro overhead resistance. I mean, this has been going on since March. And even though I consider this to be an uptrend that we're now in, I think that there is a lot of validity in saying that this could be like a mini uptrend in a macro downtrend. So we're in a downtrend kind of, and then within the downtrend we have an uptrend, but the overall trend is still down. I think that is valid. I've seen some people say it, and that's why taking out this high is the most important thing Bitcoin can do. And I think we will actually rally to it. And then when we are at it, it's going to be really crucial to see what Bitcoin does. Because if we get rejected off of it, I don't really think it's the end of the world or anything, but I think it would just really delay Bitcoin going on in a massive bull run and like all the altcoins like popping off and everything. So I really don't want to see that happen. I mean, we're not even up there yet, but I do think Bitcoin's going to get there. So we'll just have to see, but it's, one step at a time. We really want to reclaim this area, which we're kind of doing right now because we're holding support. And maybe it takes a couple more days, but I do think within this week we'll come back up to around 65. Hopefully we can take it out pretty quick, and I think we'll make our way up to the top here. And we're really gonna have to just see what Bitcoin does when it reaches this, which is around 68K. So it's really between like 68 and 70, because we have that, just the yellow line overhead resistance, and then we also have just the peak right here that we really want to take out. So we have a higher high in a more macro trend, which I think it is a valid way to look at it. I still do consider us to be in an uptrend, but I can see why people are saying we're not really in an uptrend yet, because we want to take out the 70K. So regardless, it's a really crucial level that I think Bitcoin will get to and test in October, and hopefully we break it. And I honestly do expect us to break it when we come back up to it. I mean, this would be the fifth time, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If Bitcoin comes back up to it, it's the sixth time testing it. And that's just a lot of times to, get rejected off of it. So I think Bitcoin will have a good chance. And just like the timing, I mean, even if it took us, I'd say it takes us like a week or two to get there. Like we're just like, coming up, getting a little bit down, then coming up again. And we get to it like towards the end, like, October 20th or something. The election is November 5th. And we already talked about what happens in the elections and what happens after. So it kind of lines up pretty well, actually, too. Like the timing actually is pretty good. So we'll just have to see. What I really like what Bitcoin did this past week, even after the sell-off, I'm going to switch it to the weekly, is turn on the bull market support band. And you can really see that we actually didn't even close inside the bull market support band. We actually closed, switch it to a cleaner chart. We actually closed slightly above it. I mean, at one point we were underneath it, and then I think when I made the video, we were in it, and we actually closed above it. So Bitcoin actually didn't even close within it. So look, so far we're holding it. And this is what I was saying, that if Bitcoin's able to hold the bull market support band, I think that it could push Bitcoin up. Because, I mean, like I said, we have already faked out twice above it. And we could come above it again and then come back down. I think that would be really, really bad. I mean, that'd be the third time Bitcoin does that. But I really want to see us hold above it. You know, even if this week turned out not to be so great and we kind of just closed the week where we are right now, that'd be really terrible if it, like 6 days later we're still here. But that would still be holding it and closing above it, which actually wouldn't be too bad. Then like maybe the next week or the week after we can really get the push up. But when Bitcoin makes its really, really big moves, right, like it's always above its bull market support band. So that's really why I really want to see it get above it and hold it, because Bitcoin makes really big moves when it's able to get above it and hold it. So it's actually looking pretty good, just because, you know, last week actually closed really good. The week actually didn't even close that bad. We only ended up closing down 4.25%. And at one point in the week, we were down 9%. So yeah, Bitcoin to me still looks really good. I think that we'll have to wait and see a little bit longer. I just wish it would happen now, but Bitcoin is just going to take as long as it wants, because that's what it does. And I really don't see this going on for really that much longer. Like, I've been saying this for a while now, or like for like a week now or two. I think like a week. But, you know, on the weekly candles, it's been 224 days, which is like the same as this time period, I think, right? Or yeah, basically the same. I mean, you could measure it slightly different, but we're actually around the same time now that we were last year going sideways. So I don't think it'll last much longer. Of course, it could keep on going for a little bit longer, but yeah, we're just moving closer towards the election, moving closer towards another rate cut. By the way, you know, there is a good chance that we're going to get another rate cut in the next meeting, which is also, I think, in November. Yeah, it's 30 days. So yeah, it's like mid-November. It's like after the election, actually, which is really interesting. It's 2 days after the election. So we're going to have an election. And so far, I mean, these change a lot, these percentages. We're currently sitting, you can see here, at around 500. It says 475 through 500. So the market is saying there's a 15.5% chance that we're going to pause. So last meeting, we had 50 points that got cut. And now they're saying there's a 15.5% chance that we pause and an 84.5% chance that we cut 25 points. So basically, we're not cutting 50 points in the next meeting. I don't think it's happening anymore. But these numbers change. I mean, I looked at this a couple days ago, and it was like 95% and like 5% here. So it's changing. It's actually swinging towards a pause, which I still want to see rate cuts, just because I think the markets really love rate cuts, so it would kind of be good for the markets, but we'll have to see. And yeah, guys, that's just an update on Bitcoin. Hopefully we can hold. Hopefully we can just hold this box, which is, you know, basically the top of the bull market support band. It's the area that we were holding just before we took out the previous high that put us in this uptrend. So I do think we'll hold it, and we'll just have to see how the week plays out. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.